and let's go. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the FrameCast in 2021. We're still alive. I think we're surviving this year about as good as 2020, but we're still alive, and that's good. How's it going, Drew? How were the holidays for you? How have you been enjoying the couple of weeks during Christmas in which time was
So just gonna
nice?
point out, Michelle here is all about the whole. Wait, did we do an episode when I was down at my folks? We did, didn't we? At
Yes,
least
we
one.
did. We did
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 or
So you can
something.
see my face again now. You can see
Yes.
my handsome visage instead of like, just like that. So it was good to be back at my folks. It was lovely to be there. Kind of sad to have come back, but I didn't realize like how much physical space I had. Right? You see my hand. You see my
Yeah.
hand, right?
Oh my
There's the
god.
mic. There's more room. It's like instead of like a coffin. So I did miss the space, but I missed them as well. So
Yeah.
it's a tough situation, especially with shitty internet. I'm actually fighting that. I'm fucking fighting that, trying to actually get proper internet installed sometime soon. It's not going well, but we'll see.
Is
Yeah.
there anything that we can do to fight with you for your internet? Can we march
No,
with you?
don't, Michelle. You're close to a landmine.
I know.
There's a landmine in front of you. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's play it safe.
I wanted to go for some sort of like movie reference. I was like, oh shit. But yeah.
Back it up, back it up, back it up.
Anyway, I hope the
Back
internet gets fixed because like it's like it was choosing between like two evils, having no lighting and no space, or choosing between like having them but having no internet at all that
Yeah,
is in any way
yeah.
decent at all.
The
So
biggest issue is the cats. Like I don't have the cats anymore. Like I
aw.
can't. Yeah, I mean that makes me the big sad.
Oh, that is so sad. Actually, like why did we not have a moment where like just like the cat jumps in your lap and like we could have like,
Oh, I
had it on
don't
the
know what
frame.
No. Cat does what the cat wants. Right?
You know how high the ratings of the Framecast would go if we just had like a cat on, and we'll just just ask the
We
cat for
should
opinions.
we should have named it FrameCat or Cat.
Yes.
No. But
The Framecast.
unfortunately, at that time, like the cat's busy gorging on food, and then it's probably like falling in front of the fireplace and just like, I am now warm and full of food. Around that time, that was always the
Yeah.
case. It was always lunchtime that they were in my room sleeping.
Nice. So, today what we have for you is a variety of topics. We have been away for a couple of weeks, which means that there is some things to talk about. At the same time, it's still been like pretty rather quiet. Other than did we talk about? Oh no, we actually didn't talk about Cyberpunk being banned of play or like removed from PlayStation. I don't think that was out at the time when we did the Framecast with Xandy and Joey, or was that?
I can't remember. I really can't
I
remember.
don't think so. I mean, we did talk about the bugs and the things in Cyberpunk, but not about it being removed from PlayStation. But that feels like such old news now that like. Are we still going to talk about it? I don't know. We do have a couple of topics. One is Minecraft Earth is being discontinued after 1.5 years due to the global pandemic. We have WhatsApp to force users to share their data with Facebook. We have the most interesting topic of all. 4 years after NieR Automata's release, the final secret has finally been uncovered. Also, KFC is releasing a console, or are they? And one of the most recent topics is Twitch removing the popular PogChamp emote from their platform due to some tweets. So yeah, that is what's coming up. Before we get into those topics, though, let's get into what kind of games have you played?
So I'm just replying to Blaze. Blaze has actually said, like, just a random tangent, is that a Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet chibi character on Xeno's shelf? I don't know which one he's talking about. Like, the only characters that he should be able to see are the Gun Gale Online.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the 2 Gun Gale Online ones. One from Sword Art Online 2, and one from the anime series Gun Gale Online. So I don't know which character he's talking about.
He says the
Oh,
pink one, maybe up top.
yeah,
Like,
no, that's Len from Gun Gale Online, the spin-off series.
oh, I mean,
So I don't think it was called Fatal Bullet. Maybe it was. I don't know. Anyway,
I
sorry.
don't know either. It's like I think it's amazing that like you can see that with like the resolution that's being sent over that internet connection,
Yeah.
that he can even make out those details. They're both in the SAO Fatal Bullet game. Oh, so like they made a spin-off game, a sort of online game where like they're in.
I'll talk to Blaze afterwards. Blaze, hit me up on Discord. Let's bants about this because yeah. Anyway, so what games have I played? What's it called? Since we last chatted. So obviously, shit tons of Cyberpunk. I don't think I had finished the plot. Did I finish the plot before? I don't think I had finished the plot
No.
before. Yeah. So no, I definitely didn't because I finished it. What's it called? Christmas morning, like stupid o'clock in the morning, sort of thing. I freaking love that game. That game is amazing. I really hope that there's going to be some optimization changes in the not too distant future where it will run a bit better. I do want to play more of it. I've got 2 endings.
Mm.
I ended up afterwards. I ended up talking with both Joey and Zale. Like spoiler full territory kind of thing. Like, I've already got one ending that I was really satisfied with. What endings did you get? What choices did you make? And we spent ages just chatting with each other, and it was absolutely brilliant. I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft.
Mm.
Like properly getting back in the swing of that. I had to have Loz hold my hand during the last leg of the single player campaign because I was getting so bloody bored. It's only at like the last 90% of the single player campaign that it really picks up the plot. And like as soon as I got that, I was like, oh, okay, the plot now makes sense, which is great. What else have I played? I picked up Crisis Remastered again for £6.79 during the Epic sale, and I know it's had some patches and things, but for like £6.79, like yeah, okay, fine, whatever. What else have I played? Raft. We finished off Raft
Mm.
during for the stream stuff with Nazareth. We'll be doing a Minecraft related one in like a month and a half to 2 months. I need time. Like you might want to allude into what we're doing with the show imminently, but
Oh yeah.
like that was wiping me out something chronic. So I was doing a 7.5 hour day, like a 9 to 5 day, and then I was doing another 5 hours on top for live streaming, and it was absolutely killing me. Loz turned around and said, "You're being a grumpy Gus," and I'm like, "I am being a grumpy Gus. Thanks for pointing that out, Loz." Loz like, "No problem, Drew." And then I realized what was the problem. I was just killing myself, and so I needed to slow it down.
No, I can see that. Like, especially 5 hour streams. Like, there are a couple of times where I might go to like 3 or 4 hours, but like I'll hardly go over 5. Like, nearer to 5, nearing 6. I barely ever do that because, I mean, I also stream like towards the end of the day, so I've had a day, and I really, really enjoy streaming. I really enjoy hanging out with people and just playing games and whatever. But at a certain point in time, I'm just like, I gotta sleep. I gotta go sleep. So doing 5 hours every week after 7.5 hour or 8 hour workday, like that's tough, man. So speaking of those changes, the thing that Drew mentions is that there's going to be some changes to the FrameCast, especially when it comes to the frequency of the FrameCast and the frequency with like this setup of the FrameCast. Instead of doing it weekly with just the 2 of us, we're going to do it every single day. And no. Drew is going to appear once every 2 weeks. I think I've talked about it on the stream a little bit, maybe, but we're like, Drew's going to appear on the FrameCast like once every 2 weeks. So he has like a week off to, relax, take it
Rest.
easy, to rest.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I'll be looking for someone to fill in these other weeks. So next week, and the week after, because I think the week after you're also you're also occupied. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm
So
gonna have to see if I can find someone to fill in those weeks. And I've already been asking some people. Some people have said like nope. Some people are like maybe. But I'll continue to look for it, and so it might be that we may have a couple of framecasts where it's like once every 2 weeks, but it just works out as it works out.
The intention is that the framecast will remain as much a weekly thing as
Mm-hmm.
possible. If anyone listening has any recommendations whatsoever for Brain, come on.
People that want to co-host.
Yes, that's the one. Then just let us know. Just hit us up for any recommendations. The preference is that they do have a keen interest in video games, but it doesn't have to be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, they have to be exclusively Warframe, or and it's just stuff like that, really.
Yeah. Remember last time we did the Framecast exclusively Warframe? That was like almost a year ago
Yeah,
or something. Wow.
yeah, it was a long ass time ago.
So that's something which is changing, but we'll see how it goes. I've been playing a lot of I've been really playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima because I was taking 2 weeks off, and I was like, I gotta play something. Everything I've played, I always played in connection with streams and shit, and I was like, let me go back to Ghost of Tsushima because I quite liked it, and then just went for the entire New Game Plus because I did not do that yet. And it's pretty much just the same game, but then New Game Plus, and yeah, really enjoyed that. Still really enjoyed that game. I think it's one of the best games of 2020. A shame that it's only on PS4 because it has a brilliant multiplayer mode, which is kind of dying down right now. Which I can fairly understand because there's like 4 characters to level, and at that point, once you've leveled them all up, that's kind of like all you have to do once you have all the content unlocked. And then, yeah, what's the point in really doing it? And because it's only PS4 only, it's a story game, which a couple months later only got its multiplayer mode. So I don't think a lot of people bought it, and then a lot of people that bought it still played it to do the multiplayer mode. And it's only on PS4. If it was like crossplay on like all the consoles, you probably have a larger user base. But that's unfortunate. But I think it's still a really nice game. Really enjoy it. So yeah, definitely a recommendation. If you have a PS4 or PS5, which I think they're backwards compatible, grab it if you want to get it. If you got your refund for Cyberpunk, you're like, I want to go play something, go play Ghost of Tsushima. Really liked it. So that's mainly what I've been up
One
to.
one thing that's quite interesting is yesterday it was announced, I think, by the developers of Outriders. Is that
Mm-hmm.
what it's called? They announced the game's release date is getting pushed back till April 1st, 2021.
Something.
However, they are God, I gotta find, yeah, Outriders. They are, however, starting a demo period from, God, when was it? The 25th of February 2021, where you'll be able to play like the first few hours of gameplay. You can play all the classes, so on and so forth. And in fact, I had actually messaged them and said, like, when you're saying the first few hours, are you saying that it's a timed demo, or that you can only do the first few hours worth of content but run around it like a moron? And they actually said it was the latter.
Ooh.
Of course, loads of other people have jumped on top of that and have really confused the situation. So,
Let's actually go and take a look at to like Outriders right here.
yeah.
I have a little trailer going on here. I've heard a bit about it. I've heard people like say it in the same breath of as like live servicers or something. I really have no idea about this game. So
Right.
can you inform me a
So
little bit about what we're looking at?
it's not a live service game,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a one and done title. There's reportedly no microtransactions.
Ooh.
It's akin to, oh god, what's the name of the fudge? The Division, and what was the other one that it was compared to? I can't remember. It wasn't Borderlands or Destiny. There was something else it was compared to. I can't remember. The Was it Anthem? I'm not sure, but
It,
it's a cover-based shooter. It wasn't compared to Warframe because I think the idea is that it's still a looter shooter in terms of you've got to pick up the weapons of the enemies and things.
mm-hmm.
It does have co-op play. Um, it is quite ability heavy with cooldowns and things. I think this is more reliant on you using your abilities, unlike games like The Division or early days of Destiny 2. I remember early days of Destiny 2. Your abilities, some of them would like have minutes worth of cooldowns. Apparently, the cooldown on your ultimate ability in Outriders is only supposed to be 30 seconds or something like that. Another thing is that this is also supposed to have crossplay as well.
Ooh,
So,
interesting.
it'll have crossplay with PlayStation or PSN, Xbox Live, Stadia, and PC. Right? No mention of a Switch, so I imagine it's not coming to Switch. Yeah, that's about it really. So
Yep.
it's interesting, and it's nice to see that it's going to have a free demo. I think having a free demo indicates that there's enough confidence in the game that they're um they believe that even by showing off the content, the quality of the content, that it will be enough to sell the game when the game goes live, which I think is actually a really good going back to basics, going back to form of like 90s style games, where if you wanted to like really promote a game, a demo was the way forward.
Okay, I have footage right here, and it does look a lot like Anthem. And Anthem I also felt had like Destiny 2 vibes and a bit of Division vibes.
Yeah.
It's that cover based shooting, but then what I can see so far is like kind of an open world. I don't know if it's an open world, but it's kind of like an environment type deal where you have enemies with these colorful health bars, and you have
Yeah.
free abilities. You have the free guns, and you have So and there's some cinematic cutscenes, work in
The
progress.
the campaign is supposed to be like 30 to 40 hours.
Ooh,
So as long as the game isn't like horrendously expensive. Oh, it's 60
I think it was
60.
59 or something.
Yeah, I mean like I'm still if it's 40 hours worth of gameplay, I'm kind of on board with that kind of price budget, but when it's like, oh, it's $60 for 10 hours of gameplay, like fuck off. So yeah, I'm gonna play the demo, but I'll probably wait for the review. Anyway,
So I'm looking on like if you want to like pre-order it right now for a PlayStation 5, it will be $60. If you're buying from the US, yeah, it's just $60 for everything.
let's have a look at Steam. I imagine it'll also be $60 on
Yeah,
Steam.
I
Um,
I personally find it like quite interesting. Like
nope,
the
it's 50 quid.
50 quid.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Um, the thing that I find interesting about it as well, first of all, the concept is something which does fall into the realm of what I like, in the sense of if I look at, I moderately enjoyed Destiny. I somewhat enjoyed Anthem when it was running okay. I really enjoyed Warframe. I've really enjoyed Division.
Mm.
So I can definitely see this being, if it's done well, something which I can really, really enjoy. And I think it's a really good thing that they're doing the beta things. That being said,
Yeah.
Anthem also did 2 beta weekends, though for one of them you had to like pre-order the game already, which is why I
Oh god,
pre-ordered it,
of
which
course.
was like just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's good that games come with this thing. I kind of wish though. I don't know. So like on the one hand, I would say that I would really like to have some way where it's like, hey, you can try out a demo. Remember like the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era where it was quite usual for some games to just have on an online store a demo game where you could just play like a demo version of the game before you actually bought it. I feel like that's like really gotten lost to time. Like that
Yeah.
hasn't carried over at all. And on the one hand, I can say I can really appreciate that they're doing this right now. But what if you want to buy the game after the demo weekend? Then like
Is the demo still
you
there,
know,
sort of thing?
the demo is not going to be there anymore. On the other hand, people can say, well, if the game is out by that point, you can just watch reviews, you can just watch YouTubers play, you
Yeah.
can just watch people play it, go to Twitch, which there is an argument for that. Then again, I do quite like the idea of a demo because then you can really get a feel for, is this what I like? Is this in my wheelhouse? Because even though refunds are possible, I've also seen platforms be a real dickhead about refunds where like, well, you've played it for 15 minutes or you've opened the game, so you've definitely played it. We're not going to give you the refund. So yeah, how do you feel about demos?
I'm all for demos. I think they're really important. I also feel that they like I remember years ago on the Xbox 360, I played the demo of the Iron Man games, like the movie tie-in game, and it was a timed demo, right? Which
Mm.
literally meant you had 20 minutes to play the demo, and then it would just kick you out, right? And often that is a indicator of don't play this game. It is bad. I've seen that like a number of times.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, I like demos really show like the integrity of the game for when it's coming out, and I think they're really important, much more important than a review from a content creator. Don't get me wrong, I love the reviews of content creators, but so many people won't do demos because they're trying to hide shit, and I'm not good for that.
I can also imagine that it might be a lot of extra work if you want to like create a demo, which will not be the real version of your game. I mean, you could make it the real version of the game and then have the timer limit on there, but I think that's kind of crap because what if I just install it and then I open the game and then it's like, oh shit, like someone calls me or there's an emergency and like I go down and go up and it's like, oh, now the timer's over. Or what if the thing that I'm interested in is actually 20 minutes in to the game where I'm like, oh, I want to see how the combat progress and I can't even get to the tutorial because I'm so crap at the game, and then like I can't really get to the point where I'm like, oh, this is what I want to see, and then it's like, yeah, the time's up. So I'm not a big fan of demos with timers on them. But then again, so you would then have to create a demo which isn't like the full version of the game, which would basically mean you're creating like another thing, which I don't know, given how many games have released these days where the games were not really finished, whether these developers would have had time to develop yet another like demo, which is pretty much a copy paste from the game, but still a separate thing which they would have to make.
I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, if you go to events like EGX or Gamescom or PAX or any of these events, they all have demos for the game to go out and play. But the problem is that the hardware needed to run this demo is it's so like massively intensive that like no one's normal machine could handle it,
Mm-hmm.
right? More often than not, you'd go play a demo of a game for like the Xbox or the PlayStation 4, but it's actually running on a fucking PC, right? Because the console can't hack it. They haven't finished it. They haven't optimized it. You get the
Mm-hmm.
idea.
Yeah.
So but my point is like why can't if they can make a demo for events like these not exclusive events, but maybe hard to attend events, why can't they make demos readily available? Right? That is a
Mm-hmm.
choice that often publishers or developers actively make because they again off they don't want people to spend too long on it to identify the potential flaws. And I mean, you go to any of these events, you have people at the booths that will go around going like, yeah, move on, your time's up, move on. Like it's a timed demo with literally an usher to shoo you away from the machine,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can't, if you want to play it again a second time, you have to go through the bloody queue again.
Yeah.
And that realistically to me is if you can make it a demo for an event, why can't you just make it publicly available?
Do you think now might be a good time to push? Like I say, Blaze in chat say, "Rest in peace, PAX. Till I see you again." Obviously, these conferences that we were talking about, the EGX, the PAX, the
Yeah.
Gamescom, have now all been forced to go online or cancel. I think most of them are going online right now with like online showcases, but I think they also have done like online demos. I'm not quite sure about this, but I think I remember like months ago, EGX would have like you could download demos and you could play it. Do you think that now might be the time where, because these events are going online, that now could be a time for it to push for like, hey, normally you would show these on the show floor, but now the only show floor is the online show floor. What, hey developers, can't you not like make these demos which you normally put on the show floor into like a thing that I can download at home and then play, and then I get the same experience but then at home. And because of that, maybe beyond like the pandemic, we can push for, hey, this becomes a normal thing. We actually have downloadable demos that which we can play, so we can have an idea of what the game is, and actually buy as an informed customer.
I think that is something that journalists, content creators, and consumers would absolutely love. However, I got a sneaking suspicion that publishers and developers would utterly hate that because it's more time to put into one of those things that ultimately won't necessarily sell the product. I think that's like, well, we make the game, therefore you fucking have to buy the game.
Yeah, and it might also just be that like a lot of people just don't care, and because the majority of the people that will buy the game just don't care, it's not worth
Yeah,
investing into. So yeah. Anyway, that
that's very fun.
was about demos. Let's get into community comeback. We have a couple of comments, not really from last time, but we had some from before the yearly Framecast episode,
Yeah.
which we did not get to because we didn't really do that. So. One from Trex. We were talking about Nintendo's overprotection of their IPs, where they were shutting down events and things. Where we would say like, well, you're shutting down something for charity. You're shutting down an event which is made in like honor of your game. Why the hell are you doing this? Trex says right here. Regarding Nintendo's overprotection of IPs, in many places, if it can be shown that your IP was used and you did not take legal action to protect it, you can lose the rights to that IP. Something which you have mentioned as well before. Regarding the charity controller cases, it's on the makers of the cases that they did not check on the legality of the product before they started selling it. Though it is not uncommon for IP holders to sell the rights for their IPs for use for charities for very tiny amounts of money. At one point, it was like $1 because that was like the least amount they could sell it legally. So basically, like some companies, if they find out that someone is doing like charity things with their IPs, they can say like, "Hey, you can buy the rights for this project from our IP for like $1 single, which is like nothing. But just so that we can like show it in like a legal system that you actually bought it and it wasn't you sold and we didn't take action. It's the old camel's nose in the tent situation. That isn't in case that any exception is made, it can and will come back to bite you in the ass. Note, I'm not now or have never been a corporate lawyer in Japan, so I can't say how much that this is the case. Just that this could very much likely be the case.
I agree. I've said this a number of times for the US. I think my argument back then was there was no concept in Japan for fair use. I don't know if it was that episode that I brought this up or maybe another episode, but like if you want to use any form of media for an advertisement or anything like that, you have to get explicit permission in order to do that in Japan. It's like in Japan, in Japan, like they are really heavy on the privacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um so in God, in America, there's a TV series actually called The Rookie, right? It stars Nathan Fillion, and in one of the episodes, they actually showed off this couple had gone into a hospital and were taking like selfies and things. They were influencers that were in the attempting to bring up awareness of this kid's condition to try and actually make it. But there was no permission asked, right? They were just doing it. They just barged into the hospital and just started taking photos. They were live streaming and all sorts of shit like this. And that is very much an attitude that is held in Western culture, which is just like, well, I do what I want, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
look at look at Logan Paul, right?
Yeah.
But in Japan, the privacy rights are really in the favor of the individual, right? So the second you are caught, like recording footage in public and people's faces are captured, if you do not blur that out, right, it's just like off to jail.
Mm-hmm.
It's you have not got a leg to stand on. You need explicit permission. And that's why you will see footage from Japan and things where there are no citizens around whatsoever. There's no people for this footage to capture, because they do it during times when there's no customers, or they shut down the venue for the filming. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
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 So anyway,
So because
but
of
no,
that,
trexpaddock, I agree.
yeah. So because of that, due to that, like even though that Japan is such a large, overpopulated country, everyone around the world just gets this impression that it's completely empty and deserted all the time, except for like
Yeah.
a few main characters that are walking around.
Yeah, exactly.
I do really like. Oh my god, that is such a. I really like the opposite, the emotional roller coaster. If you tell that story of, there were a couple of people that wanted to support a child's. That wanted to support a kid in the hospital with their condition. You're like, oh, that is amazing. Something good in humanity. They were influencers. Like, oh, fuck. And it's like, oh, they were influencers. And the way to help them was by taking selfies and live streaming the thing without asking permission. And it's just like, oh, no. Oh, God, that is... that's quite a, we started there and we ended up there. And, oh, my God, that is sad.
There's always two sides to every story. Well, technically three sides. There's your side, my side, and then the truth.
Yeah. And whatever we report on the FrameCast, which actually is the truth. To get it, we created. Actually, no, that's a joke. I'm not ready to be sued from this point forward, because yes, you said on the FrameCast 67 that everything from this point forward was the truth. It was like, nope. We're just bantering about. So yeah. That was Trex about Nintendo's IPs, and we also have Sentient Ephime, who also mentioned Raft. About Raft is so realistic that it turned Xeno and Nasifon lost against one another, like real stranded people.
Oh my god, that was just me being tired and grumpy, Gus.
I mean, I reckon you'd be tired on a grumpy Gus on like a real Raft too if you were stranded. Like, I don't think you'd get that much sleep.
More than likely, I'll probably go like, I don't want to do it.
You're just like, tropical island, here we go. Why take the raft anywhere else? I'll just make a hammock, and I'll just like extend my hand, and that coconut will just fall into my hand, and it will just like have a straw in it already. I can just like drink coconut milk, and it's gonna be relaxing. It's gonna be amazing.
I was massively I'll be like, Lars, I'm hungry. Well, then fish something. I don't want to. Let me feed. I'll be terrible.
I mean, I know. I've experienced that firsthand, not in Raft, but in other games.
Oh my god!
You don't remember? I mean, you brought it up during the Arbiters last time.
Oh shit! Yeah, Among Us.
Actually, like, okay, so
You need to play that again.
I might use this time to do one back at you. Which, don't worry about it; it's already been done. Okay. I was debating on whether to talk, but I think right now it's the perfect time. So remember the last Arbiters. Have you noticed anything that I've done during that last Arbiters? Because every single time I try to make it a little bit of a special episode. Did you notice?
No. What the fuck did you do?
So you may have noticed that during the last Arbiters, go check it out, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, the one before this, because he released a new one now with Joey.
Yesterday,
yeah. So my speech patterns were quite curious indeed. I'd taken a book from Ephime's spoken language sort of thing, and to go in very well with my sentences. But that wasn't really the thing which I actually did. That was a way for me to hide the real thing that I did. So if you go through each of the questions, like I also said at the start, something along the lines of pay close attention to the first in line of each of these questions. You may notice that if I speak the questions, the first word in every single sentence starts off as the following. Every single question, like every single sentence, starts off with never gonna give you up for the first question. Never gonna let you down for the second question. Never gonna run around and desert you. I was so hoping someone would pick up on that.
Oh, that's brilliant. I thought you were gonna say like never going to trust you again, man.
I could have done that. No.
Oh, that was genius. That was absolute genius.
I was so proud of us. Like, oh, what shall I say after recording, or shall I wait? And then like after recording, like everyone just kind of left. I was like, okay, that's fine. And I was like,
Yeah.
shall I just wait? What if someone finds in the comments? I was like, I don't know if I want to say it in there. So I was like, oh, I'll do it now. And then everyone that watches the FrameCast can go back and see
Yeah.
that's the case.
Yeah, that's absolutely hilarious. Good job.
I was so excited every single time I asked the question. I was like, are they gonna notice? Are they gonna notice? And they just did. And I was like, yes.
No.
So anyway. Let's see. I think one more thing which I want to talk about from Ephime is could you explain / discuss the following statement? Hating or disliking something but still supporting it. Which I think applies to some things which we've probably talked about many times, with people being very attached to games, attached to franchises, but still like really hating it, but still playing around with it, or really having like things that they're like, oh, I really don't like what they're doing. Oh, and then they still support the thing. I think like the statement for me, it seems like it doesn't make sense. I feel it seems like it's like kind of like a hypocritical thing. Like you hate something but you still support it. I personally really found that it's not so much at all. It's like it's very natural for someone to not like actively not like something but still support it, because it's kind of on the same train. And they're like, let me explain with something. So I've played Warframe for like a lot of years, and for like 8 years I'm coming up. And for those 8 years, there were so many years in which I absolutely loved my time. But then I got towards the end of the game, and I still loved it. But then, like, towards the end of the game, there were updates which were more focused at the start of the game, and there were updates which didn't really align with my playstyle, so I was kind of stuck with things. I was like, I don't like what they're doing. I don't like what they're doing, but I still played that game. I still loved it. I still supported it. I still brought Prime Access. And I had like sometimes very intense feelings about certain things that they did, which were sometimes really positive and sometimes rather negative. And it's been a real eye-opener for me playing different games, where I have found, like recently I was playing Destiny. There was like a boss battle in Destiny, and like the new update, the brand new update, which people have to pay money for, or if you have Game Pass, you can just get for free, which I have. So like I was playing that brand new update, and there was like a boss battle, and it was so shit. It was so bad. This platforms were just disappearing. I was dying all the time. I was like, fuck this, I'm done. And I just closed it. And I just started playing something else. And I just really did not care. I really did not like I wasn't upset. I was like, oh, this update is stupid, or what, this boss battle is a sign. I was just like, yeah, I'll try it one more time. Oh no, I died. Fuck it. Okay, let's do something else. And the reason is because I think Destiny is fun, but I'm just kind of like casual about it. It's like Destiny's there or Destiny isn't there. Like my life isn't ruined by Destiny being there or not being there, because I don't have that deep connection with that game as I had with something like Warframe. So the fact that like I would go and be very passionate about something which I really dislike, which might have shown that I really dislike something, like pretty much like was because I really identified and loved that game, and I really disliked seeing things being bad about it, because I was like, I really want it to be so good. And so that's why I think that you might sometimes see like a lot of people being super, super like negative about something. But I think that most of the time, like that isn't really a weird feature. I think it's more logical. That's just because they're like so passionate and engaged by it, that like they'll get to that point where they're talking about how much they dislike it, but they still support it because they're still attached to it. That's how far I think that that like statement or that idea goes, or at least as far as I've experienced it.
I think there's at least one other way of looking at this, which is it's sort of like the schoolyard picking on other kids mentality, right? When I was in school back in the Stone Age, there were so many kids that would form their own little cliques. They form their own little groups and things. There were obviously the nerds. There were the pretty boys, like the rebels kind of thing. There were the athletic kids. There were like, there was many different groups of them, and it was quite interesting because the groups sort of like always dressed the same way. I remember a lot of the rebel kids, they would wear their ties like really, really, you can't actually see it because it's like behind my microphone. They wear their ties really short. They would wear their blazers inside out. They do all sorts of weird and wonderful shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And it was really interesting how every kid wanted to feel like they're part of something, but be on their own. They wanted to be isolated from everything else. Why am I getting so whitewashed all of a sudden? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry, my camera's being weird. But the one of the big things is that I think it's popular to hate things, right? I think it's if you have a group or a following, like if you are the popular kid, right? Turning around and shitting on something, it actually energizes the people that follow you to think, oh God, they hate that. Oh God, why? Oh, drama. Oh, develop. Like I've seen some people say like stuff about Cyberpunk 2077, like, oh, it's got a completely mediocre plot. And I'm like, name me another game that has a plot anything like Cyberpunk that is a first-person shooter, right? Just name me any other game that has a plot like this, right? It won't be in this decade. It won't be in last decade. And
I was about to say, like, have you ever played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? But then I realized that was 2009, so that doesn't count. If that did count, then maybe it would contend.
yeah, but the large thing is that people, I think, get off this popularity drive with hating on stuff. There are some people that say unnecessary comments about Warframe, about Cyberpunk. It's like, what's the value of saying that thing you've said, apart from for you to score kudos with, if you don't like something, for example, if you don't like hitting your hand with a hammer, are you going to continue doing it? No, because it hurts. You feel discomfort. So the only reason why you're continuing to hit someone else's hand with a hammer is because it doesn't hurt you, right?
hmm
And like that is genuinely why I think that there is more like a primal nature to shitting on things that they are passionate about. It's an easy victim,
Well,
right?
so one thing that Ephime mentioned, that's how Shy grew her channel.
I didn't say it.
Well, who knows who said it, because we don't know whether like
No, I meant
the
I didn't say it just then.
yeah,
That that
the
yeah.
lore behind sentient Ephime here in chat is that Ephime could either be their own person, they could be an alt account from me, they could be an alt account from Joey, and it could be an alt account from Quiet Shy. We don't know who Ephime is, and it will forever be shrouded as a mystery. What Ephime does say is the idea of this question originated from me saying in I say me, my point of view, like in FrameCast 65, that I had a dislike for what Nintendo was doing, but how I will never not buy a Nintendo product again. Like there is a high chance that I will buy a Nintendo product later on, even though I wasn't liking their the way they did things. And the same
Mm.
thing with like Netflix attempts to make yet another Death Note movie, which people will really dislike, but they'll still go out and buy and see it. Uh, like that is more where like I feel like, yeah, especially when it comes to the content creator side and when it comes to like online side, the online presence, there's a large part of people just, hey, if I shit on things, then people will, give me attention, because me shitting on things like makes me feel good, makes them feel good, and oh, we have a good old time at the expense of this thing we're shitting on. But I do also, yeah, but I do also feel at the same time that it really, the more you and like you really care about something, the more things that bother you will bother you, because there are so many games that I've been playing right now where I'm like, if they release an update which is bad, it's like I'll just not play it. And like, I
Yeah.
mean, I've been having that attitude with Warframe too, where I'm like, I like there's a new event out, I'll try it like this weekend. I'm excited to try it out. If it's really good, I'll like play it. If it isn't, it's like, oh no, it's gonna be a rape, whatever, Whereas before, I know that not even because I wanted to make videos, not even because I wanted to talk shit about it. It would just be I would start it up and be like so hopeful for something, and I'd find it's like, oh no, why? And then I would really dislike something, and then I would still be like, well, let me continue to play every day. And it's like, that is so weird. But it's just because I really, really like the thing. And I was like, I really hope it does good. And because I really like it and it does something which I don't want it to do, I'm like, I get super frustrated. Whereas normally if I play a game where I really hardly care about and does something which I really don't like, oh, that's shit. And I just like close it because I have no attachment to it. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah. No, I totally get the sentiment behind that. I am trying to find the charging cable for my no, that's not it. Sorry, I'm trying to find the charging cable for my Pro Switch controller. I don't know where the fuck it is. Anyway,
Well,
yeah, let's bounce.
it's probably right next to the charging cable of your phone because you want to grab your phone and play Minecraft Earth for the last couple of months that it's still around.
Yeah.
Because
What
that
is
is
Minecraft Earth?
Oh, you don't know about Minecraft Earth?
I know of it. The name's floated around for such a long ass time, but I genuinely don't know like the full ins and outs of the actual product itself. Like, is it just the servers for Minecraft? What the fuck is it?
So Minecraft Earth is a game which only came out in 2019, October of 2019. So it hasn't really been out for all that long yet. But the idea of Minecraft Earth is I can actually show it to you in a trailer, which is doesn't really tell you anything, but it's like you'll get the concept once I show it right here. So Minecraft Earth is basically you look at the thing and you're like, oh, is that Pokemon Go? It's like, yes, it's Pokemon Go, but then in Minecraft. So it's basically this idea where you can use the world. Actually, like I should probably look for like a gameplay episode because like the trailer really doesn't do no justice. It really doesn't show anything. But idea about Minecraft Earth is that you can just walk around through like your city sort of thing. It's like, kind of like Pokemon Go, but instead of it being Pokemons, you just walk around and you can see, Minecraft Earth like things. I've never played it, but let's see if we can show right here. There's like a little video thing here. Let me see if I can move Drew around. I don't think I can move Drew around.
Just turn me off.
Oh no, I can just almost. I'm so close. I am so close. There we go. Now we got you. So, this right here is right there. So basically, as you can see, like the first time I saw this, the first time I was looking for videos about this, I thought that this was literally them comparing it to Pokemon Go, but it's Minecraft. It looks so eerily similar, and it's like, oh, you can build buildings in AR. It's like a mobile AR game. I've never played it. I've like vaguely remember someone mentioning it at some point, but I haven't seen any steam around it. Then again, like Pokemon Go was like super relevant for like a month, and I've never heard about it since. It's apparently still on development, like being updated and shit. But
yeah, it is.
Yeah, so that is Minecraft Earth. Now what is the deal with Minecraft Earth? Well, it is shutting down because of the pandemic. After 1.5 years of being around, Minecraft Earth is shutting down. There's the Pokemon Go style AR mobile version of Minecraft that was launched in October 2019. It was designed around free movement and collaborative play, which Minecraft says is near impossible in the current global situation. I can see how these games can be massively suffering for this. Due to this, Mojang is focusing development efforts on other Minecraft products and is shutting down the mobile game on June 30th, 2021. So during the remaining months that this thing will still be live, but it's pretty much closing down, all content that was in the pipeline is going to be released because, I mean, the game is shutting down, so they're going to throw everything out that they still have. Microtransactions are being removed, so no one can spend any money on it anymore. People receive extra items, like times will be cut, all those sorts of things, so like the play will basically be a lot easier for people that still want to get into it. And another thing which I thought was like hugely interesting, actually, is that users that have spent money on the game, which this is one of the first times I've really seen a significant live server sort of thing shut down, where they're like this is also sort of live service where you can put money into microtransactions, you can put money into this game, which you feel will always be around. But what if it shuts down? And what will happen then with the money you put in? Well, the thing that Minecraft does, or Mojang does, is people that have spent money in the game will receive the Minecraft Bedrock Edition, which is the Minecraft edition for Windows 10 and Xbox and PS4 for free, so that they can continue playing Minecraft on like another device if they have spent money on this, because this thing is shutting down, which I think is a rather decent thing of them to do.
And what if you already own Minecraft?
Then you'll just get a second copy, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think for me, this is the first time that I see a game like a big name game. I mean, it's not such a big name game, but a noticeable game shutting down because of the pandemic. Do you think that like more mobile games, or especially AR outside focus games, are suffering the same fate because of like the pandemic?
Um, yes and no. I mean, there are definitely going to be other games that will suffer this. But whether or not it's to the same extent is something entirely different.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if why isn't Pokemon Go shutting its doors, right? I believe the reason is that there's still enough players going out doing things to engage with it. However, I think the problem with Minecraft Earth is that their player base is not prepared to go outside, sort of thing. So imagine only a quarter of the population that play either Minecraft Earth or Pokemon Go actually go outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then um, the numbers will significantly drop and things, but the players, keeping the servers on, keeping the lights on and things is still possible for one Go because they had such a massive margin. But for Minecraft Earth, not necessarily the same thing. Or it could just be a simple case of like, well, look at what's the name of the stupid game? Marvel Avengers, right? There's no reason for why um it's been suffering so badly, except for it's a bad game. So maybe, time has brought it to the point of crumbling away into nothingness because why not just go fucking play
Yeah.
Minecraft? Oh, going outside, that seems like a fucking fantastic idea. Woo! Yeah, no.
No, I can definitely also see that it might also be something where it's like, well, we have this pandemic, and this it's not doing so good. Hey, the pandemic, it's raging. We can't keep up this game. How unfortunate. I can definitely see that be something, because Pokemon Go is something which I feel everyone knows, even if you're not
Yeah.
gaming, because it was so big. And I'm actually looking here at at a data sheet which seems rather like good, well sourced. I'm not quite sure whether it is, so don't take any of these as facts. But it says that the Pokemon Go user statistics is that in September of 2016 there were 500 million users on Pokemon Go, and in March 2019 there were 1 billion. So the first couple of months was like super big, but afterwards it has still grown, not at the same rate, but it has still grown a little bit. I think financial statistics. Let's see, user spendings per year. Like the first year, $832 million got spent on Pokemon Go, and like they're still at 894 according to the source, which I think that like still, even though it's not the most super relevant thing out of like of all time, as it was in the first month that it was out, I still think that, I mean, they're making a decent rate. So I don't think they're bound to go down. But I do think that they definitely have this first movers advantage. The fact that everyone kind of knows about it. I did not know about Minecraft Earth. I've heard about it like once or twice, and I think back about it. But I didn't even know it was released. I didn't even know it was out. And I think that that's a
I'll
bad
be
thing.
honest, I didn't even know it was a bloody mobile game.
Yeah.
Right? Like I've heard it. I've heard Minecraft Earth. I've heard the name drop like a gajillion times. I never knew it was a fucking mobile game.
Mm-hmm. And like again, like I can hardly speak on it because I've not played it, but it doesn't really look that interesting to me, because if you looked at it, like if you saw the gameplay, it's kind of like Pokemon Go, but then instead of seeing the streets, which like Pokemon Go kind of had like the streets that you were walking into, then visualize into this Pokemon landscape, and you would see like a Pokemon come up, and then if you wanted to engage with the Pokemon, you have like the thing on the video feed sort of thing. This doesn't feel like Minecraft. It's like Minecraft is all like for. I can see Pokemon work in an AR game. Minecraft, I don't think so, because yeah, it's so much more. I feel with Minecraft about like the environment and what you create and how you create and shape your environment. If the only way you can see your environment is by like this small window of your phone, you have to like move around to see it. I don't know. So it's unfortunate that a game is shutting down. I never celebrate a game shutting down because there's people that worked hard on it. There's people that really enjoyed it. But I do think that out of all the games that are shutting down, I think that they're, I mean, out of like all the games I've ever shut down. I think that this is not the worst way to shut down your game, and I think it's also like reasonable. So
No, I concur.
for all of our Minecraft Earth hardcore audience, I'm sorry for your loss. Let's go to
Where's all the magic? Where's oh god, tech it. Where can I make my quarry? How do?
mine and craft, boy. Just keep on mining, keep on crafting, and then you craft mine, and then you Minecraft at some point. Actually, they're coming out
Wow.
with a pretty good update. I never kept up with Minecraft updates, but at the start of the week, I think Retro was like, "Oh yeah, there's gonna be like a really good update in Minecraft. There's gonna be like wireless redstone, and there's gonna be all sorts of new features." And we looked at it; it actually looked pretty damn good. So I'm excited for the first time ever. I never thought I'd be excited about a Minecraft update, but here I go. So maybe we're turning into a Minecraft. Tune next time where we're Minecraft only FrameCast. Ooh, the blockcast.
Oh my god.
What's your favorite block in Minecraft? All right. Next topic, WhatsApp to force users to share their data with Facebook. This is a topic which probably has less to do with like media and games, which we normally talk about. However, I think it's quite interesting due to like the high user base of WhatsApp that we have in Europe. I know in like the States it's a little bit less, but here pretty much everyone has it. Do you have WhatsApp, Drew?
Yeah, no, I use WhatsApp quite a lot. If they turn around and say, "Oh yeah, you need to sign in with your Facebook account," I'll be like, "Well, fuck off."
Yeah. So
Right?
well, it's quite more than that. It's not quite that, but it's quite interesting and not very good. So basically, like WhatsApp, if you're in the States, is very, very common. The way that in the States people use iMessage a lot, here everyone is kind of expected to have WhatsApp. If you don't have WhatsApp, it's kind of weird. It's like everyone has WhatsApp. You know, you don't text anymore, you WhatsApp each other. So I think that's interesting. It's interesting to talk about that, and also we've quite frequently talked about like how about Facebook and data usage and privacy on the show.
Yeah.
So on February 8th, WhatsApp is changing their privacy policy in which the following more user data will be shared with Facebook companies, which include Facebook Payments, Facebook Technologies, Oculus, CrowdTangle, and Onavo, just like everything that Facebook owns, which is quite a bit. This is interesting because when WhatsApp was taken over by Facebook, one of the big things that was, I think also the EU got involved with it, making sure that they would never share data with Facebook because it was it's so present in Europe that people were really fearful that, hey, if this is going to connect to Facebook, then we're just pretty much giving everything away. Which is also what's going to happen pretty much right now because the data, the privacy information, the data that will be shared includes users' phone numbers, so your phone number, other people's phone numbers stored in your address books. So even if you're not using WhatsApp, if someone else uses WhatsApp and they have your phone number, Facebook has that too. Profile names, profile pictures. So basically, this is the thing which is interesting is let's say that I have you in my address book with your name, which also you use on Facebook, and Facebook is expecting everyone to use their real names. Even if you don't use WhatsApp, then Facebook can still connect your phone number to your Facebook account because I have you in my address book.
That's stupid.
They also include it also includes a status message whenever the user was last online and diagnostic data collected from app logs. That will be shared to Facebook from February 8th. You have until February 8th to accept if you use WhatsApp, and if you don't, you will lose access to the app because they're like, your thing is out of date. You can't use it anymore. So this is something where normally I wouldn't really talk about this because, it's just privacy policy, which a lot of people just go like, oh, they accept. But I think that this is quite significant. This is something where I'm like, I hate that so many people use it because this is something which I really, really don't like. The fact that they're just like, your phone number, everyone that is in your address book, their phone numbers, the names, diagnostic data of like app logs, everything. It's like, I don't like that. I really don't.
I think there's going to be a high chance of me changing my phone number, because, like, if Facebook can derive my phone number from someone else's activity, I'm sorry, like, I'm really, really against that. That is not on in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, like, can you imagine what a fucking wealth of data that is for Facebook? Because basically, how many contacts do you have in your phone, and how many contacts do you have on WhatsApp, sort of thing? So they only need one person to agree to these privacy terms, and they basically have all the phone numbers from all these people in the address book. And of course, they can't be certain. But I mean, if you have 10 friends and 5 of your friends have WhatsApp, and like they can cross check, it's like, oh, this name appears so many times in these address books and this phone number is connected to it, there's a really high likelihood that this name and this phone number is from this person. And hey, we also have this person who is in contact with these friends, which we also have in our database. So like, hey, yeah, that connects. You don't even have to give your phone number to Facebook anymore because they will be able to figure it out with the data they have from both WhatsApp and Facebook itself, which is, I find, pretty scary actually. Not something that I'm a
No,
big fan of.
I completely agree with that. There is so many things wrong with that on so many levels. I am really, really against it.
Mm-hmm. It's still a month out, but I have seen a notification on like WhatsApp myself already that was like, oh, you have to accept the privacy terms. Let me see if I can actually bring it up because I know that there was like one way in which they stated it. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if it shows up anymore. No, I can't find it. But like it showed up and it says we're making changes to your privacy to that they do their thing where it's like they don't say like, oh yeah, we're gonna share all your data with Facebook right now. They're just like, well, we're making changes to your privacy to make it more clear how things work with Facebook. And so you're not quite sure what it means. And I feel that 99% of the people that have WhatsApp will just be like, accept.
Yeah,
And that worries me because
yeah,
like I saw that and I was like, I'm not hitting accept every single time. And I clicked on it like, okay, what are like the terms that are going to change? It was really, really unclear. It was just like the corporate thing where it's like, you don't, they're saying a lot, but they're saying nothing. And then I was like, well, let me just like not accept this yet because I don't feel like it. And then I started this article. I was like, "Fuck, that is bad." If they were to say in this thing, and like I actually wonder whether there could be some sort of law where they have to state things not in their corporate jargon, but say it like, "Okay, what we want to share with Facebook right now is your phone number, all the phone numbers stored in your address books with the names on that, your your status when you were last online, and all the diagnostic data from all the apps that you use. So basically, we want to know all the phone numbers of everyone, if you and everyone, when you're on your phone, and what you do on your phone. Do you wish that we share that with Facebook and everyone that's connected to Facebook? People would say no, but because it's like, oh, we've updated our privacy policy, people are like, oh yeah, accept. Like, I wish that like there could be some sort of law where people would be able to see this because like it's quite ridiculous what people are accepting, and like I don't see this. Do you think that there could be any chance that that could be a cultural shift that people move away from WhatsApp? Because
yes,
I don't
yes,
see.
yes. No, completely, 100%. I will be changing like I will have to change my phone number.
Mm-hmm.
And just basically not give it to people because of WhatsApp. Like the second someone has, because like this is very viral. This is very like I want to say dark web, deep web hacking grounds. Like this is like super shady shit, right? Like you couldn't even argue a positive for this.
Mm-hmm.
What on earth could the positive be? Oh yeah, no, we're holding on to this data because you might forget. Like I'm sorry, you can't possibly justify this ever,
No,
right?
I think that the way they justify it is just, hey, we like data, and it's like it will be really useful for us to. I mean, we're relying on people answering their phone number and their real names to Facebook, but I mean, not everyone does that. But what if we can with our data from WhatsApp just cross-reference what your phone number is, and if we don't have your phone number yet, now we have it because we can cross-reference it with WhatsApp with all your contacts and all your friends, which we find in both systems, and we can also, how Facebook is so much against like for using your legal name. Let's say that you're using not your legal name on Facebook, and then they're like, hey, now we have this data from WhatsApp, and hey, with like 20 of your friends, you're not listed as this on like as you are on Facebook, but you're listed as this. So
You're not listed as Trogdor,
yeah. So
Yeah, I completely agree.
those are things where I'm like, this is so weird. This is really the point where yes, like I really feel that we have seen a lot of these services where it's like, oh yeah, it's free, but like you're the product, and that really doesn't mean anything because you say, yeah, you're the product, and they sell your data. It's like, oh, who cares about my search history, or oh, who cares about what I watch online? That's what people say. People just don't really give a shit. But I think that this is like, if you're to say like, hey, do you want your government? Do you want the government, your government, like not just a privately owned company, but your government, the government that's there to, like serve your country, that's there to regulate your country, the government that's been elected. Do you want your government to know your phone number, every single phone number in your phone. Do you want the government to know whenever you use your phone, whenever you're active on your phone, and you want the government to know everything that you're doing on your phone? No? Then why do you want Facebook to know all that? And why do you happily accept that? Because that is what you're doing right now. You're telling this private company where you're using the services for free, but you're telling this private company, like, okay, go ahead. And I like a lot of people will do it. And like the thing is, like, I really don't like this. This is something where I'm just like you. I'm like, this might really be the tipping point for me. Like, I'm really stepping away from WhatsApp. Like, I've already disregarded my Facebook. I'm not using Facebook anymore. I deleted all that shit. But this is something where I'm like, this is quite bad. But this is such a cultural thing. It's so ingrained with the European culture that, like, the way that Americans are like, we all use iMessage. It's like, oh yeah, what's your iMessage? Oh, I iMessage you. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't have an iPhone. It's like, you don't have an iPhone? It's like, no. Do you have any other Apple products? No. Like, I literally had to get like an old iPhone so I can correspond with people in the States, because the FaceTime shit is not from this world in Europe, but it is there. And that is what WhatsApp is. Like, every single person, every single thing is like, you join your first, like, oh, we have a WhatsApp group. You join a sport team, oh, we have a WhatsApp group. It's like, I think this is such a massive thing, but at the same time, unless the EU steps in, where they're like, hey, this is really bad. We already explicitly said, and actually you should look it up, but I think they said, like, when WhatsApp was bought by Facebook, that they were like, we have to, like, you can't share data between this. I really hope they step up, because unless something brings it to the news, to the general mainstream news, people are not going to know. They're just going to say accept, and they're never going to notice. And they're just going to keep on going with this without knowing that they just accepted to all this, data usage.
How did you even find out about this? Because to me, like, I never knew.
So I just saw it in like one of our one of like the tech news things which I follow. So let's see. I'm trying to find what they said with like what the EU like said when they accepted the merger of WhatsApp and Facebook, because I remember that being like a big deal at the time. I've also linked the article up there. It's like Ars Technica. Like, you can click on it if you want to see it. It's in the doc. But yeah, let's see if I can find when that was. Where is this thing? I have an article right here. This is from 2016, where Facebook was accused of misleading the EU. I don't know what it says, so I'm just going to read this. European Commission is going after Facebook and sent a statement of objections, provided incorrect misleading information in 2014 during the acquisition of WhatsApp. The alleged misleading information was given during the merchant investigation. The EU wanted to know if Facebook could match user information with WhatsApp. Facebook said multiple times that it was unable to establish automated matching between user accounts at the two companies. The Commission took this information into account, but mentioned that it wasn't the central point in clearing the transactions. Almost 2 years after the merger, WhatsApp changed its terms of service for the first time in almost 4 years. Following the decision made in 2016, WhatsApp would link user phone numbers with Facebook accounts for improving the service and offering better friend suggestions. So in 2016, apparently, they already did a thing where where they linked Facebook accounts with WhatsApp's accounts in 2016 already, and now they're like opening the data sharing even more. And then the EU objected, and I really hope they're gonna object to this, because Facebook could be fined on 1% of its turnover for this. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
No, it should be much more than that.
Definitely.
Like, the problem is these fines are so pitiful. The fine should be like, no, we're gonna take how much are you worth? You're worth 1 billion, right? We're gonna take 500,000. There you go, half. And I'm like, what? They won't fucking do it then.
Mm-hmm.
They'll fucking hit the abort button as hard as you physically can. But because the penalties are just so minor, you just fucking get away with murder.
The thing which I don't understand is that countries have gone to insane lengths to like spy on each other and to counteract spying on each other. So there would be machines made that would not work on electricity, so they couldn't be detected, but people could still listen, and like, so much work. And I think it's still going on. Like, intelligence agencies are still very active, and there's still a lot of money being pumped into them. And meanwhile, like, while these agencies are just trying to like figure out these small details of information. Like, oh, can we learn about this? Can we learn about? Facebook just comes around and says, hey, we want every single country in the world. We just want to like learn all the phone numbers and all the names of like all your people in your country. We want to know like everyone they contact with, and we just want to know like whatever they're doing on like their everyday phone and like pretty much like what they're busy with the entire day. We just want to like monitor them there for like all the things. And the country's just like, yeah, fine, that's cool. It's like, how the fuck are you like fine with that while you're like
Well, I don't think they're asking for permission. I
no,
just think they're doing it.
it's just like it just feels like this thing where like you have just like these where you just have like these two guys just like building up a fence for like one guy's coming in and like the other like is building up a fence and then like they're with bricks and they're doing all the things to like stop this guy and like out there like a few meters away like someone's just like walking in and it's like bye guys and it's like they're just oh my god it's so weird but yeah it's that was something where like I was quite concerned.
No, this to me is quite concerning because like how many people are among have to turn around to and say like, yeah, sorry, you can't have my phone number.
Yeah, that is especially like the virality of it, not in like how viral it goes in like online, but like the virality in like how it includes your address books. So it's not about you having WhatsApp, it's someone else having WhatsApp with your phone number, which could already like give your data to Facebook, which is like that is worrying.
The big thing to me is why hasn't Apple or Google turned around and said no?
I don't know. Actually, like Facebook is right now in like a big dispute with Apple right now. Have you heard about that?
No.
So basically, what Apple is doing is that basically like they're making it the default for people to opt in to being tracked with ads. So if you are an Apple device and you install Facebook, then you're gonna have to click I want to opt in into Facebook in the Facebook app tracking me and like tracking ads for me and like doing all these things. Because they're like, well, we don't want our users to be tracked by Facebook. And Facebook is like, well, but like if people have to opt into these things, they're never going to accept that. And that's just going to change the way that like the internet works because then we can't make all that money. And they're super upset by it. Let me see if I can like find an article, but like that's super interesting because they just realized that if people are really bad at opting in or opting out of things because they don't look for settings. But if you're being shown the moment you install that you install an app, let me see if they have a little image right here because I've seen this thing. I don't know if it's right here. I do know that there is. Here is what the message would look like. Let me see. I have an image here, so let me share this right here. So it's like share my account information with Facebook to improve my Facebook ads and product experience. This will not be shared. So it's kind of like it shows you every single time like it installs. Like, do you want to share all these bits of information? And most of the time, people will say no, and they're just really worried about that. Facebook pissed at Apple's plan to requiring users to opt in to receive targeted ads. So
I see. Like, I think it should be illegal for what's the name of not GDPR. It's the whole cookie thing in the EU. You have to like opt into cookies and stuff on websites and like I really feel that more and more companies are going out of their way to make it difficult for these pop-ups. Like they're trying to make it difficult for the users because of these pop-ups, right? Oh, you can't go onto this website until you've accepted all these cookies, right? And then there's reams and reams and reams of all these things to say no to, right? But there's one button that says save recommended, right?
Yeah.
Which is just turn them all on. And like, no, you shouldn't have that.
Yeah.
If you have yes to everything, there should be a no to everything, right? And so if companies can be dickheads about this, then yes, other companies can also be dickheads about this. So I'm sorry, Facebook, get off your high fucking horse. Just shut up and fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
because this is just how many like. Oh my god, the sheer fact that like I'm just gonna have to, I I want us to get this segment of the episode, and I'm gonna want to like share it with people because I people are gonna be like, why are you changing your phone number? This is why I'm changing my phone number. So I'm sorry if you have WhatsApp, you're not having my phone number.
Yeah, it's like the thing that I feel it's like the like the monkey on the stove sort of thing, or the fish in the boiling water. It's like if you slowly increase the temperature, they're not gonna notice. It's like I cannot imagine if 10 years ago you would have gone to like a regular person on the street and be like, hey, do you want to share your phone number, your friends' phone numbers, your name, your friends' names, your daily activities, and whenever you're awake or doing something with a random company you know nothing about? They're just gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
However, right now, it's just like, oh, do you want to just accept the new privacy things? It's like, oh yeah, sure, because it's like it's a free thing and it's been a ride, and it's literally been the point where I feel at the start of what like when these companies started, when like Facebook became a new thing or WhatsApp became a new thing, people were like, wow, hey, that is curious. People were like kind of concerned about it maybe a little bit, but then they were like, oh, but it's free. It is free. Let us use it. It is free. And then they just really got used to like posting things, and they've never seen anything go wrong with it. They've never seen that their house crumbled or something. So they're like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. I trust it. And even though like you are the goddamn product. So. And now, yeah. Anyway, is there anything more what you want to say about this, or should we move on?
I'm kind of surprised that Hackaday hasn't hold on, and Doom on desk phones. Google Photos, WhatsApp, and Doom on desk phone. Like it's surprising Hackaday hasn't actually highlighted this. If you could get me that. Oh, what was the website that you got the?
It's in the doc. You can if you're in the doc right now, you can just double
I'm not.
tip link. Oh yeah.
Well, I
Oh.
mean, like my point is just share it with people. So like if you could put it on your in your chat and things, I think the more people know about this,
Mm-hmm.
Ars Technica, that was it. The this really needs to be highlighted.
Yeah.
Especially with everything that's going on right now, this needs to be like, just fucking hell.
Yeah. It's
Anyway.
Anyway. Yeah. It's conversations like this that make me very leery of Zoom. Paris says, I've been very wary of Zoom. It's just we have to use it for our university, but other than that, I just want to get the thing off. I also don't like using Google Chrome. Not a big fan of it either. So I only have to use that for like exams and stuff. There's just certain programs where I'm like, I'd rather stay away from that.
Yeah, no, I seriously, like, so when people turn to me and say, why you change your phone number? This is why.
Yep. All right. Oh shit, there is something new. Anyway, let's get to the next topic, and there may be a like I'm just reading a headline right now where Switch modders have found evidence of a Switch Pro in the latest Switch update. So a 4K in duck mode. So there might be a new Switch coming up where it can do 4K if you duck it. I'm just reading that headline, so I don't know any details about that, but that is interesting. Let's move on to our next topic, our most important topic of today, which is 4 years after NieR Automata's release, a final secret has been uncovered. So on January 3rd, someone named Lance McDonald shared a tweet in which a secret code was shown. Let me see if I did not save the tweet. I gotta go through the article. So let me just very quickly grab that. Basically, what this thing should actually, like, I can show it to you and then talk you through like what's happening. Sure. I think Drew will also be able to figure out what's happening. Let me see here. Here is the link. Boom. And let me go grab it and throw it in. I don't need to see that anymore. Here. All right, let's go. So this right here. So like this is the cheat code. This is the very first boss of the game. So right at the start, once you like, I think it's right after the boss fight, if you do this sequence of movements and attacks and like this sequence of button pushes, it will get you, like, this takes a while, so I'm gonna speed it up. It will get you straight into the final ending of the game. From the first boss
What?
fight, you can get straight into the final ending of the game. Not that you'd want to, but you could. And this was something which isn't an exploit. This is actually a cheat
Hard-coded thing.
programmed into the game, and it was also recognized by the director of the
Katara.
game, who said, yes, this is, after 3 years and so many months and days, this has finally been found. The way that this was found was like by the first engineering the game in order to find this. So this was not an easy thing to find. Like also, if you just figure out like this takes quite a long time.
So what are they doing? Are they trying to hit something?
No, it's I think it's like a sequence of like certain movements, certain button presses that they need to do, which is pretty rather long and complicated. I don't think it's something which you would suddenly get to, like, oh yeah, oh no, but yeah, there he goes.
It's so random. Is that one of the? No, that can't be one of the. Like, there's no missing ending or anything like that.
No,
That's so weird.
it's not a missing ending. It's just like literally like, oh hey, it's you found a secret thing. Congrats.
That's
No,
so
it's not even
weird.
that. They just said, let's see. Yeah, the tweet was pretty much, where was that? Oh yeah, well right here. I'll get the tweet. I'll get the tweet from the director right here up as well. NieR Automata spoilers, 3 years and 10 months. RTF found a cheat code right here. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's an actual cheat code that's hard coded in the engine. I don't know if he goes to say it like down under. How did you figure it out 100 times for first engineering? But yeah, it's just. Yeah, it's a lot of. It's probably not something which you're going to use or want to use, because I don't think there's any reason that you want to skip all of Amazing NieR. But I just thought it was really cool that there was still.
That's mental.
That is, I love it. I love NieR Automata. I think it's one of the best games ever made, and the fact that they held something in the game which no one had figured out until like 4 years later, fucking amazing.
Well, also the fact that it hasn't been like suppressed or anything, like, you know, Yakataro has actually turned around and said like, "Yay, it took you fucking long enough."
And I think he also responded within a few hours, so that's like pretty cool. Like he's like, "Oh hell yeah!" All right, so that was like a pretty cool piece of news. Another cool piece of news, which I don't really have any like notes for, but I do have it to share, and like we've all seen it, is the KFC releasing a new console. Really or not? Who knows?
Okay, I really want to highlight this. This is not going to be a fucking console. This is going to be a PC, right? It's made by Cool Masters, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are out there to make cooling hardware for your PC, right? But like, how legitimate can this actually be, right? I'm sorry, to me, this is such a gag machine. Yeah, they're probably gonna make like, I don't know, 1,000 of them tops, and then they're just gonna sell them for a stupid amount of money. No one's gonna fucking use them, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. No, right. So here's the thing: it doesn't actually cook the chicken. It only heats the chicken. It keeps the chicken warm. But how often you gonna have to clean the inside? Here's me, right? Genuinely, I do not turn off my PC unless I am moving it or there's a power cut, unless I'm forced to turn it off, right? And like, holy fucking shit, right? How often are you gonna have to turn it off and clean it out in order to, oh no, my my KFC console has cooked itself because some chicken breadcrumbs fell into the electronics.
Oh, can you imagine your fans, like your cooling fans, just like completely gunked up with like, oh my god,
grease and shit. Like,
yeah.
this, right. So the only reason why I wanted to talk about this, right, is while I was back in Wales, while I was back at home at my parents', there was a news report highlighting like obesity and things like this, and like, how oh god, what were they saying? They should put a tax on unhealthy food, right? And they used the KFC console as a comparison to incentivize people to eat unhealthy. I'm sorry, this is such a. How can you not see this as a fucking meme? right? How fucking thick do you have to be to think there's any legitimacy to this machine, right?
It
You
is
know, you
it is
like,
so amazing when like these credible traditional media sources are just like,
God.
yo, yeah, no, this is real, and they just don't fucking get it. Like, so let me like guide you through. Like, I've seen this before, so like let me guide you through a couple of things which like it looks very very professional, very real, but there's a couple of things which like make my my spidey sense tingle about this is not going to be a real thing. So first of all, the thing that you see is like you don't really see it in action, sort of thing. Like you see a frontal shot, you see a very close up thing, and then you see some sort of like Photoshop render. So I don't even believe like it might exist a prototype. It might just as well not even exist. This might just be someone just like make this like rendered it. But like regardless of that, like they just say like, oh, it has arrived, and like it runs the latest titles at 4K 240 FPS. Like that is a nonsense claim. I mean, like no console is.
Oh yeah. Who's gonna test that?
Yeah, but
how are you gonna test that?
It means nothing. That means nothing. And it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna first build them chicken chamber. I don't really care about that yet. You see, like building the sandbox cooler master, and this is an interesting thing. Okay, so if you want to heat this thing up, okay, so like they made the thing that heats up blue because blue is the color you associate with hot things. Definitely, clearly. And everything that's red, that's supposed to be cool because that is where the PC is. Don't you get it? You've just you're wrong. You're wrong. Nah.
Can you actually zoom in on that picture?
A little bit. So the thing here is, if you take a look at this, so what you find is this right here, all the blue bits, as I said, are supposed to be for like the cooking the chicken thing, or like the heating the chicken. It's not cooking; it's just heating it. Underneath here, you can see something which is like really small and tiny that looks like a G4. So that seems to be the graphics card. And then up here, they're not really even showing it, but that's supposed to be the computer, the motherboard. And you're like, where's the space for that? Well, then you go down here and then you find, okay, this is the way they do it. They have the Nook, which I don't know if you know about this thing, the Nook.
No.
Basically, this is like a computer the size of a graphics card sort of thing for like really tiny builds. Basically, the Nook is also being sold as a separate like small form factor PC. This basically means like you can have a small form factor PC where you slide this in on like the one side and you slide a graphics card in the other side, and that's kind of like your PC. This thing is about $1,000 to buy. So even if they would get a great deal on this because they would buy this in bulk, it would probably
the
like
machine itself would not be cheap.
No, it would be like let's say that they would have a really 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 generous deal that they would get it for $500 like each. Like that's half the price that they would get if they buy it in bulk. Like that's still like $500, and they have to build the entire thing and also get what they're saying a graphics card. Hold on. Which graphics card? Just released. Let's see. This is a ASUS powered graphics card, and it's a hot swappable GPU slot as well. So like while you're gaming, you can just like swap out your GPU card. Nothing's gonna drop. You're not gonna like lose all your graphics because like that's the card creates those. No, you're really gonna like pull it out and you can hot swap it in, keep on playing 100%. So, but even if this was a graphics card, which is somewhat decently, I wonder as well, if you look at the port right here, I don't think that any of the new RTX 30 series, like I think they're only shipping with like a display port, and this definitely is not a display port right there.
That looks like a fucking VGA port.
It is a VGA port. But don't you know the capabilities of VGA ports to like send 4K 240 FPS over them? So this is definitely not one of the latest graphics cards, which already have like a tough time. Not all of them will be able to push 4K 240 FPS on the latest titles, including Cyberpunk 77, which is like the latest title. So this entire thing, like because there's no specs given, because like this is not one of the latest graphics cards, because this thing is so fucking expensive, like it's not gonna be a thing. Like, oh yeah, never run out of space. Here's a 1 terabyte SSD. It's like, all right, well, this is just straight taken from like Barracuda's website. It's like, it's VR ready. It's like, okay, sure. If ray tracing, okay, ray tracing. So it's got to be an RTX 20 series or a 30 series card. Like both of them, none of the RTX cards had a VGA port on them. I can assure you that. And others come there. It's like 240 FPS up to a.
God, the 240 hertz output. Like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
I know, right? What's the port of 240?
I wish they put 420.
On 4K.
Genuinely put 420.
And enjoy enjoy your favorite games in finger licking good 4K quality on supported devices. So to me, this entire thing, like it just speaks of like a joke. There is nothing
It's
here
just-
about this that seems
I
real.
genuinely think that this was supposed to go out on April 1st. I really thought, I really think, and that someone got the date wrong, right? I really think this was supposed to go out on April 1st because it is such a fucking joke, right?
Well, it might also have been a very good, well-timed thing because, you know,
I just
it's
think
the
it's
Christmas
bullshit.
period. Everyone is looking
Someone
for the
needs a
new
laugh.
consoles.
Everyone needs a laugh.
Well, I mean, everyone is looking for the new console. Everyone's talking about the new PlayStation that's been released, the new Xbox that's been released, and then KFC comes out, we're releasing a console too, and you see, people are talking about it. So,
Oh my god,
and
this is so fucking dumb.
I think I've even heard like rumors of like McDonald's like gonna be releasing their own console as well too.
It's a burger.
Yeah.
It's just a burger. There's no cost. It costs $1.99. It's a burger.
So, but like this is not the first time that KFC has done something like this. Yesterday, while like I explored this on stream a little bit as well, and then someone came around and introduced me to a very amazing game on Steam, which I actually went in and I played a little bit. Have you ever played actually one game which you associate with like KFC, with like chicken and like?
Oh, I know exactly what you're fucking talking about. You're talking about the dating sim. I fucking
Yes.
love it. Yeah. It's like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's incredible that they actually paid for this. It's a free game,
It is.
right? But it's like, what the shit is this? But you know that like KFC is like the meal to have for Christmas in Japan, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like typically when you're in Japan, like I'll link you some videos and things, but you typically order KFC, and you can actually order some meals like for KFC that are like absolutely fucking massive. I'll see if because I want to share this with everyone. Like I think Abroad in Japan did one. I think Charlotte did one. Hold on, don't, damn it. So let me scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe people think that the bloody bucket is a real thing. It's so goddamn dumb.
I mean, like, I think the thing to make people believe certain things are real is just like make it seem professional, make it seem like it could be something real. And like, if you look at this, thing, like if you look at the shots, and if you look at like the way they're advertising it, it's like, yeah, it seems real. And someone that doesn't really look for specs and shit, they're just like, oh yeah, this is entirely real.
This is totally real.
Actually, like, it's kind of related, but also like kind of unrelated. Is like one of the like I was watching a video today by a YouTuber named Louis Rossmann, who is like an Apple repair. Owns like a repair shop, but does like a lot of videos about like Apple repairs and how to repair MacBooks and how to repair like your computers and stuff. And he did like a video, and there was a video made a couple of years ago, but I watched it today, where he talks about a contract that one of them that he got from like a TV show in order to like appear in a couple of episodes for like a series, because they found one of his videos. And like that was again one of those situations where you get something which looks like really professional, really good, and really amazing, and very centered towards you, because like he got this thing like, oh yeah, we found you and really love your content for this and this and this, and as he was reading into it, it was complete and utter bullshit, because basically that contract stated that the moment that he would sign, every single thing that he would make via YouTube, via merchandise, via anything related to his online personality, he would have to account for. Then he would have to give 10% of the profits to the TV station because they need him. He would have to like make sure that that was all noted, and he would be able to he would have to be able to submit to any audit at any point in time that the TV station wanted to, and then if the audit was done, then he would have to pay for that audit because that was for the TV station. And even more so, if the TV like the moment that he signed that contract, all the videos would be allowed to stay on his channel. He would be allowed to keep his channel because they were so gracious to allow him to keep his channel. But any single video that he would make therefore would have to be first sent into review to the TV station to then get a written explicit consent to post that video, and no other videos would be allowed to be posted. He would have to pay for all his tools and everything that he needed. He wouldn't get compensation for that, and he would not be allowed to say any of the names. Would have to blur everything out, and he would have to make sure that he would always have everything in stock, which he has used before in case they want to use it again. But he has to make sure that he has that, and that's the moment that he signs that contract to appear in like a season for like a television show. And he was like, get the fuck out of here. You have not seen my channel. You don't know what I do. You don't know shit about this. And he just like put him on full blast. And it's like, again, like this thing where it's like, they just expect you to just feel like, oh, you're special. Oh, we really looked at your channel. We want to give you this opportunity. You just signed that contract like, oh yeah, this is really cool. And then you figure out it's like, fucking bollocks. This is no contract, but this is again something where like this is in a good way. This is a positive like meme where like, I get you. Where they just expect you like, oh yeah, this looks really cool. Oh yeah, it's gonna be real. It's like it's not gonna be real.
So bullshit. It's so fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I'm saying like I really think that they're gonna make like maybe 1,000 of these, right? And they'll sell them for like I don't know 2.5, 3 grand a pop, right? Because it's just gonna be a meme, right? That's all it is. It's going to be a fucking meme, guys. Anyway. Should we move on?
Yeah. Let's go to I think the final topic that we have for today, which is one which has been quite recent actually from the last 24 hours, is Twitch removes the popular PogChamp emote from their platform due to tweets. So Twitch has removed one of its most popular global emotes, PogChamp, from the platform after some tweets about the recent events in the USA. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Twitch, there's a bunch of like emotes that you can have, which are just like the standard global emotes on Twitch, and then every single streamer can have their own emotes, but you can only use those when you're subscribed to that, which means that you pay like a monthly $5 fee to the streamer, and then you can use their emotes. But otherwise, you can just have the standard emotes, and in those standard emotes, there's a bunch of like hand-drawn ones, and there's also a couple of like faces which are related to the Twitch community. I'm sure there are people from the Justin TV era that are entirely aware of what all the Twitch faces mean and who they all are. I really don't know, but it's a very common understanding. Things like Kappa, things like PogChamp, like these are things where people know people know these emotes. People also use them like I don't use that myself in real life, but I know there's some people that will just like if you're talking to them like, hey, something good has happened to me, and they're just like, oh yeah, Pog, and it's like, what? Yeah, Pog. It's like, oh shit, I'm talking to one of those people again. But yeah, like it's a very common thing on PogChamp. Was like one of the most used, one of the most like popular emotes on the platform, and they were removed. It was removed yesterday. The reason why is that the person depicted in the well-known emote, which was a fighting game personality by the name of Goteeks. Again, I had no prior knowledge of this person. He tweeted something about the death of a protester in support of Donald Trump, which was like events that happened yesterday. In response, Twitch removed the emote and stated, "We've made the decision to remove the PogChamp emote following statements from the face of the emote encouraging further violence after what took place in the Capitol today." Twitch says that it wants to keep the sentiment of the emote and is looking for a replacement. Now,
hold the fuck on, right? Can I ask? What did the guy say?
Yeah, I can go and grab the tweet if you want to.
Are you sure you wanna just don't we'll make sure that we're not going down the wrong path on this. But what could he have possibly said to incentivize Twitch to delete the thing?
So this was a tweet, and like again, I will show it, and like I will read it out. I don't really want to go too much into defense because like I don't want to get into that too much. I'm more into the entertainment side, but I think it's interesting so everyone can just see for themselves and see the thing. This was a tweet right here which says, "Will there be civil unrest for the woman who was executed inside the Capitol today, or will the hashtag imaghe, which is Make America Great Again, die in vain? The video will be aired soon, and it sounds pretty gruesome." So that is the tweet which he was saying, and then P.S. Big Brother Twitter is not allowing me to post URLs, so if you don't think that censorship is real, there you go. That is the thing he posted. This is the thing which has been referenced by a lot of people as like the thing which has been the reason that Twitch has removed his thing. Which this is just the thing that's being linked. So that's all I know.
Okay, I don't want to. This is a really complicated issue, right? I don't want to blatantly I don't want to indicate that either of us are picking a side, right? So let's
Mm-hmm.
make that clear to our audience. We're not picking a side with the events that have happened on what's it called January 6th, 2021. We're not pro. We're not. Sorry, no. Our allegiance, our alliance to any side is private, right? No one is entitled to know where we stand with this. So we're not going to talk about that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So just make that clear to everyone. Um, you know, be it what anyone wants to think of us, we are
Yeah.
not disclosing that. The question here is, should a company become political with the actions of its users, right? And we've seen stuff like this with content creators like Sargon of Akkad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he says something on someone else's podcast, on someone else's YouTube channel, and his Patreon gets shut down,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's because it's theorized. Sorry, there's no concrete fact on this. It's theorized. The reason why that happens is because the platform or the people running the platform do not like the political stance of the individual saying it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as such, they want to say, no, we don't want to promote you here. You're spreading the wrong message. We don't like your message. Bog off.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, that is a similar thing happening here. Right. Someone says something and a platform is taking action.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Likewise, I have seen tweets as of the 6th. If you want me to stop, just say.
No, go ahead.
Right. But no, I'm just saying, if you want me to stop, just
Yeah.
say. I have seen tweets as of the 6th of January 2021 where people were calling AWS, so that's Amazon Web Services, sorry for everyone that doesn't know, and GoDaddy to shut down the website DLive, right? They didn't reach out to DLive to stop some people live streaming the events of the 6th of January 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
They instead wanted to go for the jugular, right? Because the people that run DLive, right, should they be held accountable for the actions of a singular individual, right?
So
That's
yeah.
people's livelihood,
So
right?
the thing that I find is, first of all, let me approach. Let's see how I want to approach this. Okay, let's first should people be held accountable for? Or should people's livelihoods be held accountable for a single person's actions? I personally think, when it comes to accountability, is like, yes, everyone is accountable, but to what court are you accountable? And
Yeah.
this also ties into, there has been also some recent drama with allegations towards certain content creators. Some of the allegations are really, really like bad. And some of them have been proven to be very, very wrong. Some of them have been proven to be very, very right. And the thing that I found, especially over the years, which we saw, especially with like the, what was it? Oh my god, that one creator that lost like 100,000 subscribers in like a day, and then like the next day James Charles lost like 3 million. So like he was for like,
Oh, you're talking about Pro Jared.
yeah, pro Jared. So like both these situations were situations where like the internet was like very much turned against them, and then both of them turned around, and to certain degrees kind of came around and said like, well, yeah, everything that was kind of said was not entirely true as it was like described, and like this entire bandwagon of hate that everyone jumped on was kind of like led on like misinformation or something. Because of that, because of those events, like I'm very much like, you're responsible entirely for things that you are responsible for, and but to what court does that belong? And I don't think that belongs to like the public court. I don't think that belongs to like the Twitter court. I don't think that belongs to the public opinion court. It's like,
yeah,
if you are like this is the way that I stand with allegations towards, let's say, creators or like public figures right now. If if news comes out that they have been sentenced by a judge in a court system after a thorough investigation, like, yes, bad guy, 100%,
Yeah.
fuck you. But if the allegations and the court is the public court and the allegations are some very likely forged things, where it's like, oh yeah, they potentially said that, or they potentially said that, and there has been no investigation, I'm like, I'm just gonna like see this one out. I'm just gonna see what happens, because a lot of times it falls either side. So it's like, I'm really like, in the same way, like if D-Life, like it depends on like what is legally set up in the terms of service. It depends what legally set up in like the country that the sue or like the legal battle would be made. But if in the court it is decided that, hey, you were responsible for this, then yes, I do think they're responsible. But I don't think that it's up to users to be like, oh yeah, this site should be shut down because we don't feel right by this. That being said, I do want to make a very important point where I'm like, I can 100% understand that if you are Twitch or if you own a platform, and keep in mind that even though we, like, I am very much in favor of platforms becoming more like public squares where everyone can just be on like a platform, like say what they want, and if people are interested in listening to it and they make sensible points, then people can stick around and listen. But if like they say things which people just don't like, then they'll probably not have everyone to listen to them. Just like in real life, if you go out in a public square and you start saying things which like are deeply unpopular, then like probably you won't have a lot of people listening to you because you're just a bit of a dickhead. However, like, that's not the way that's set up right now. Right now, they're just private companies. And I do think that for like a lot of time where like people are giving YouTube and Twitch shit for things that they do, and I do that too. I do think that they are run like charities. I do think if you look at like what Twitch is offering right now or what YouTube's offering right now, the way like this entire infrastructure, all this server capacity, which is storing like so many like gigabytes, petabytes of data, where I can go up
I
to
love
Twitch.
I love how you jump terror. You go
Yeah.
like
No,
giga
but
to peta.
yeah, but it's like I can go on YouTube right now and I can upload every single video which I have on my system right now, and I can upload that on YouTube, and I can do that for free, and it will not tell me to stop. It will probably like lower my upload speeds to make it more uncomfortable for me, but I can do that for free. On Twitch, I can go live right now, and I can stay live, and I can be assured that my live stream will be live to everyone across the world at a decent speed for as long as I want to, at any time I want to, for free. I don't have to pay for any of that, but someone has to. And Amazon, Amazon right now and Google are paying for that. And that's a huge upfront cost. That's a big cost and big continuous cost. Where, like, this is why so little competitors are coming out there to be like, oh yeah, I'll take it over, because it's such an insane cost. It's like, it makes no sense that this is free for you to use.
So here's to put some stuff into perspective, right? For like, so my job is an infrastructure engineer. So my job is to make sure that web servers, websites, code. So for a bog standard WordPress website, right, that receives 10 requests per second continuously, which comes to, so 10 times 60, so that's 600 per minute. Oops, sorry, 36,000 per hour times 24, which is 864,000 per day, which is, assuming a 30-day month, 25,920,000 requests per month, right? How much do you think a server like that costs? 10 requests per second.
I really would not have a clue.
Bog standard WordPress website is $30 per month, right? That's not including database structure. That's not including what's called mass storage. It is just a bog standard $30 per month, right? That does not have any substantial processor behind it. Yeah, but it has no limitations on the amount of traffic you can. This doesn't get to like a cap, right?
Yeah.
It's not capped, but it's what the server can handle, right? That number skyrockets, right? to hundreds of dollars, right, per month, right? I had a setup using a load balancer for a specific website, which cost $1,000 per day, right? That couldn't even accommodate for a pittance of what YouTube deals with,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And that is just to accommodate the traffic. We're not talking about like the database, like the storage behind it,
Exactly.
the processing of. I mean, the
That is
moment you
just the
the
traffic.
moment you upload a video as
Oh, no,
well.
that does include real-time processing. So
Okay,
having to read the files like that, the encoded files and shit like that, having to package them up to stream to a user. That does include that time, but it doesn't include the time to convert it from the file you've uploaded to what someone's downloading. Right.
yeah, and
So
applying the automated citations, applying the algorithm to check for
so
copyright, all these
right,
processes as well.
that $1,000 a month, right, was to accommodate. So $1,000 a month, $1,000 a day, right,
Mm-hmm.
was to accommodate 2,000 requests per second. Right, that is just 2,000 requests per second. Estimate how many people are watching YouTube at any one time, right? I don't think you can actually find that number. I do know like 500 hours of content are uploaded every minute to YouTube, right? But that is like a scary number to only accommodate 2,000 people. It costs $1,000 per day.
Yeah.
By the
And
way, this website only had a budget of 1.2 grand a month. I'm not kidding, right? So after the first day, I had to drop it down. Like I said that was a massive overestimation. You're not going to hit those numbers, and I had to drop it down like immediately,
yeah.
right? So after that first day, and we got like, oh god, 50 requests per second.
Oh
It's
man.
like turn most of that off.
Yeah. Well, like that just goes to show, like again, like I can't find the amount of requests per second. There's no
Yeah.
data on that on YouTube. But like it's such like there is so much money that goes into keeping these sites running. There's so much money
Yeah.
that goes into setting this up, and it is insane if you start to think about it. Like we're worrying about monetization. We're worrying about not being put in the recommended system. Like there are so many words that content creators and people complain about. Where yes, that is valid, but think about how much this thing costs to run and how much like word is being given. Like it is a fucking charity and it is owned by a private company. And like the thing is if you're running something like this, like the point that I'm like I'm trying to get to bring this back to the situation is like you are running this at such an immense cost. Like and you're running this basically for free for the internet. It's like I can very well imagine if you like if there is like if you have a bunch of like things which like you're using to express yourself with, which also represent you. Like if you see a kappa somewhere, if you saw a PogChamp somewhere, it instantly reminds people of Twitch because it is so tightly connected with Twitch. If there is something where like let's say I have something on my channel currently active on my channel branding where I'm like I really don't like this. This is something I totally do not stand for and I really don't align with. Then like wouldn't you want to get rid of it? And that is the really tricky thing where I am like, I can 100% understand that as a private company, that as a business, that as someone that owns the thing that I create, that I put my money, my work into, that I want that to be something where I'm like, I can stand for that. And if there's something on there, well, we're not even talking about creators. It's not like, hey, here is a creator which is streaming right now, which has also happened where like creators have streamed or made videos about something and like that was taken out. Like that gets into a different realm for me because I can understand that, like I find that weird because someone is like creating something and talking about that or whatever, and then you're banning that person. But this is something where it's like this is something which Twitch is actively giving to people. It's like here is a global emote you can use, which we have selected. Like there is a bigger portion of it which comes down to this is something which we put forward. Now that is something where I can understand that, like yes, these decisions are made, and I can get behind that to some degree. On the other hand, I also think that it is really tough because I can understand that if you know context, or if you like basically it's like a reference, right? Like the reason why you're deleting something is because it references something which you don't agree with or doesn't align with you. At the same time, you don't know what it references to for a lot of people. Like there may be a lot of people that know who this guy is. There may be a lot of people who know what he said or whatever. I don't know. I didn't know until today who the fuck that guy was. I don't know anyone in those emotes. I don't even know that it stood for people that were streamers or creators or anything. I just felt like I had no context to these faces other than that they were used in this context, or like in the context of like, oh Pog. Every time like something like a streamer does something cool, everyone just throws PogChamp in there. It's like, I didn't know, and I feel like 99% of Twitch, like, I can't say these statistics, but like, I think a majority of the people on Twitch don't know who the fuck is even behind the emote. So I can also understand that people can look at this and be like, well, this is a really popular emote, which I really, really fucking like. I have no idea who this is, and this might seem like a bit of an overreaction to me, because this is the way which I like. We love to express ourselves. Like, there has been streams or streamers which are live right then when it was deleted, and who are like, where's the pogs in chat? What happened? Because it's such a integrated thing into Twitch, which is all of a sudden taken out. So yeah, that's kind of like the way that like I saw this.
I think that this, realistically, I don't feel that people should be condemned for a lot of what they're doing. Like these people are allowed to live their private lives, right? You know, if they are told, you know, you need to keep this stuff to yourself. I mean, there's reports of people getting fired that actively participated during the events of the 6th of January 2021. And because they sort of revealed themselves. They actively participated in doing harm to others, right? Endangering other people's lives and things like that. And I can appreciate that, but for making their opinion vocal online, I mean, this is. God, no, I'm not going to say that. This is dangerous territory. This is very dangerous territory. That's what I'm going to say.
I would agree on that. Like, the thing which I find is that like it is a very complicated topic, and the thing which we like to do with complicated topics is like simplify them, especially when it comes to online. That's also why I have I have been moving away from Twitter, and like this is something which probably also makes me move away from Twitter even more, because like the thing is also I open up, like the reason why I use social media is because I want to be happy. And the thing which I find a lot of times is that people on Twitter tend to be people that are just like, if you kind of have like a shitty day, like lots of people just go on Twitter when they have a shitty day, and like because of that, like I don't necessarily get all that happy when I open up Twitter. And I also think it's all like if you want to like show that you're good at something, like if you want to be applauded for being good at something, like in the real world, just show it. You have to show like you look at athletics and you look at sports. We award people that do good because they show the performance. On Twitter, it's mostly like I say I do good, and then people are like, hey, and I don't like that culture. That being said, like it is something which really tends to simplify, and I think that there is a really difficult line where it's like, if I work, okay, so like I work together, like let's say that like I work together with you, and I found out that like we agree on certain things, or like we have shared passions, and that fuels our relationship. Like we like that. Like I mean, we share things where like, oh, we like games, we like certain series, certain anime, certain like NieR, we like Warframe. There's things that we share which amplify our relationship. There are also things which are the opposite of that. Like there are things which like we could have a relationship where like there are things which like we don't agree on that, and that might impact our relationship to a point where like we might not be able to work together anymore. And at what point do you say this doesn't work anymore, especially when it comes to a work environment? Because this is also interesting, because like on a personal relationship you can quite easily do that because like it's just your personal relationship. But like when it comes to business, there's also laws that come into effect where like, can you fire someone based on this, based on that, and do you want to continue to work on that? But like, where is that line? And that's a really, really curious one, which is really tough to understand. It's like, do I end my relationship with you when like you have murdered someone? Probably, yeah. Probably, yes. I would definitely want to end my relationship with someone and not have them work for me if I know they've murdered someone. I'm like, no. But if they were for the other sports team while we were watching soccer, it's like that's ridiculous. Why the
Yeah.
fuck would you? But
I
there's
think
there is a really gray area there where, especially if you want to like really simplify it, and especially when it comes to like online media and people also like pressuring companies to follow like this thing where it's like, oh yeah, we think this, and like they're like, oh, okay, well whatever, if they fire this person, like the worst they can expect is like that single person like threatening them with a lawsuit or something. They have to pay something more out. Where like on the other hand, they have like dozens of online users be like, So for them, it's like an easy cost decision. But it's a really gray territory where it's really tough to like. At what point do you say no, and at what point do you say, well, hey, this is something where we disagree with, but like who knows whether like you're right or I'm right, and maybe we figure it out, or maybe it doesn't really even matter in our relationship.
I think a large part of this comes down to influence from um, media,
Mm-hmm.
influencers, whatever. The problem is that a lot of people typically, non-media people, will typically say blind, sweeping statements, right? I love my mum to bits, right? I will never betray her,
Mm-hmm.
but she has said some really questionable things, right? And she doesn't mean it, right? At one point in time, but I know where she gets it from. I
Mm-hmm.
know she gets it from the exposure to the news that she watches, right? The news says, um, this event happened, what's it called? You know, I really don't want to give any specifics. It's really hard not to give any specifics. um this event happened, this uh ethnicity, race, gender, this classifier, right?
Mm-hmm.
This classifier is used to describe the individual. What's it called? Person that's watching comes up with blind sweeping statement about the entire classifier, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like stereotypes,
Yeah.
bad stereotypes. What's it called? All Chinese people are good at maths, right?
Yeah.
You can't just blindly say that, right? And there are some really negative stereotypes that I'm sure all of us are aware of, right? Oh well, what's it called? They should what's it called? I can't really say anything because it'll just get taken out of it can easily get taken out of context. I can't give the internet that ammunition, right? You know, get classification of individual, put them in a camp, right? And but what about this person over here? Oh, they don't count. Why don't they count? They're this classification of person. It's like, well, I didn't think of it that way. A lot of people say these blind sweeping statements because they don't realize the implications of what is happening, right? They don't realize that how you can say something can be misconstrued. Yes, you are responsible for the things you say, but likewise, as you said, unless you're held in front of a judicial system, you know, who who has the right to hold those people against what they say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm in complete agreement with that. And realistically, I think we should end the topic there.
Yeah.
'Cause this is so hard to talk about.
I mean, like, it's just that a lot of issues are very complicated, and I don't think that certain platforms are really the best suited for it. Like, let's say, like, I
Yeah.
really don't think Twitter is like suited for discussion, and I really don't think that times like times like these where everyone is like stuck up at home and like everyone's kind of going insane, everyone's kind of going crazy, are the best times where like, oh yeah, we're the best place to like sit down as philosophers and be like, let's contemplate the question of life and discuss all the intricacies. It's like,
I'm totally fine to have these conversations in private.
yeah,
100% fine with it. But I cannot give the internet the ammunition. Right? I've
mhm,
already had someone, right, a content creator, use my words against me, right? Years and years ago, I was on stage at TennoCon. I said something. that was lighthearted and in jest, but it was cut in such a way that made me look like an antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why did you cut it there? It was to benefit the individual that was trying to make the content, right? And again, I can't give the internet the ammunition. I love you guys, but why'd you hate me?
Well, I wonder if the technology of deepfakes becomes so good and so
Oh, dear
accessible
God.
that, like, no, okay, actually, like, it might even be better. Okay, so like, let's say that the technology of deepfakes becomes so good and so accessible that everyone just on like a $200 computer that you can buy just at like whatever store, you can make a deepfake of someone which is so realistic.
Yeah.
Like at that point, like maybe you get to a point where there's such an oversaturation of, because anyone can make anyone say anything that like it doesn't even matter, because like everyone's like, oh yeah, that'll probably be fake. Oh, that will probably be fake, because like what's even real anymore? Um, but like that is something where it is something where like it's tricky. And I also feel a lot of times I'm like, the thing that I also find a lot of times is like, why the fuck do you feel the need to like express certain things when you just know you're gonna get bad reactions? It's like if you're smart about it, just who the fuck cares? Who the fuck gives a shit? And like most of the time it just upsets people. So like I personally think when it comes back to the PogChamp things, I think it's unfortunate that it's gone. I feel like to me it's like I'm losing one of my favorite Twitch emotes because hey, I don't feel anything towards that emote because I don't associate it with a guy. I don't associate it with any statement. I just associate it with like, hey, a fun Twitch thing. And I really don't care who else is on the other emotes on Twitch. That being said, if you want to have a new, like I know that they're looking for a new replacement for the Pog emote, they're saying. So I've created a new one right here. There's a new one right here in Twitch, which is my Pog emote. I think it's considerably better because I'm wearing a cap and I'm wearing headphones because headphones are like gamers what they use.
Brand
and there's branding on it. So if anyone knows a way and like make this the official PogChamp, like let me know because we'll make it happen. Like I want this to be the new PogChamp. So yeah, but yeah, that is that. Let's see. I think that was the final topic of today. Yep. I think that we've had it here. If anyone has any questions in chat, feel free to post the question in chat. You're free to ask about anything. We're free to answer whatever we want. That's kind of like the deal we make. So but yeah, overall, 2021.
Off to a rocking start.
Oh man, oh man,
I've seen a number of memes which are like, it's not 2021, it's 2020 Steel Path.
Oh. Or 2021. Like we just had 2020, now it's 2021, 2022.
I kind of expect, like, I don't know why, I just envision, like, Trump turning around going like, I've decided to declare that this is not, sorry, I can't do the accent. Yeah. I decided to declare that this isn't going to be the year of 2021, but instead this will be the year of 2022. So 2022 or 2020 two. Like, just like which Josh.
Or it's just gonna be like now introducing the 2020S.
Oh my god.
The 2020 Pro Max. 2020 Mini. It's just like
I really want to know, like, who at fucking Microsoft thought that, oh, we can't call it the Xbox 2. Like, I really want to know. What dumb fuck thought like they couldn't do that?
The 2020 Series X, the Series 1 X box. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Remastered New Game Plus.
I love that. Oh, actually, that would have been brilliant. Like, especially just New Game Plus. It's like, it's 2020, New Game Plus. We're just doing it all over again, boys.
Right. Oh, does anyone have any questions that they want to ask in chat? Yeah, come on.
I don't think I see any
now
questions.
Or forever. Diehard edition. 2020. Diehard.
Oh man.
Die harder. Oh my god. There was I went to visit someone years ago in Denmark, and they had Die Hard mega hard, and it turned out to just be Diehard 3, right? Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
But it was like Diehard mega hard. And I'm like, what the hell Die Hard movie is this? I thought there was a Die Hard movie that I'd never seen, but it was just like in no, not yeah, it was Denmark. Yeah, it just turned out it was just translated like that. I'm like, what the fuck? I want to see a 24-hour stream. I'm not that old here to see any Mr. Xeno.
Whenever you get fiber optics.
Yeah, I need to fucking work out how to get fiber. To be honest, right, this entire work week for me, I have spent the entire week teaching people how to develop code for a specific platform. It has been pure exhausting. I've got a internet service provider I need to contact to see if they'll actually install fiber in the area. But oh god, it's been like that's gonna be a weekend job.
Oh yeah, dude, I feel you on that. I've been keeping track of like time, how long I make videos. That was been
Yeah.
like my holiday job sort of thing, because for the past 5 years or 6 years I've been making videos. I never know how long I take on the video, because I'll just be like, oh, I'll make a video,
Yeah.
and it's like like I'll think in my head, oh, that will just be an
Turn it to
afternoon, and
later.
like 2 weeks later I'll be like, oh shit, it's done now.
Shit. Yeah.
But I never learned from that. So I actually went ahead and like timed one video, which is like a really short video, but like a really easy to make video sort of thing, because I want to have like more videos on the channel. I also want to have like right here on Twitch, like we have this thing where we just sit and talk, and like there's not much going on, no script or anything. I kind of wanted to have that on YouTube too. That thing took me like 4 hours to make. And then I was like, well, let me just go ahead and like, okay, do this gameplay video, display for video of like Cyberpunk, because it took me a while to get to Cyberpunk, and I'm like, if I want to do a gameplay series, I kind of want to do 2 episodes a week, but I don't just want to do a gameplay series because it's just me playing a game. I also want to do something creative and have some ideas. So I was like, all right, I'll do like 2 a week, and I'll do something else. And it's like, I was working on the one. It took me like, in total, it took me like 9 hours and 15 minutes. I'm like, I cannot make this. This is ridiculous, and that just clears up so much as to like why I have so much difficulty to stick to a schedule, because I'm like, oh, I'll do this in like an afternoon. It's like fucking 4 days later, because I mean, videos making is not the only thing I do. I also do university, I also do other things. It's like, oh my fucking god. So it has been like such a clearing moment where I'm like, oh shit, that wasn't an afternoon. That wasn't like 2 hours work. That was like 5 times that.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So that is yeah, an interesting thing. Anyway, I think that we're ending it there.
done.
Yeah.
Cool.
So thank you all so much for watching the FrameCast, the very first FrameCast of this year. We're happy to deliver you yet another FrameCast. Whatever 2021 may bring, we will be here with your frames and your casts, and maybe a FrameCat at some point. Maybe we'll just have to like sponsor us on Patreon.
We'll
get
get a cat.
Yeah, we'll get a cat. There's a Patreon goal, and then like we get to upkeep. It's gonna be the FrameCat, and we'll just have a separate cat, and we'll just like meow sometimes, and then we'll have to switch topic whenever that happens. But yeah, no, like we'll be here no matter what happens, and we can just sit and talk about dumb shit like video games or media or movies or whatever. And yeah, if you want to check out some more amazing stuff, like an amazing Arbiters episode where someone may have done something in the order they answered the questions, check out www.youtube.com/Xeno for his amazing stuff on YouTube. Doing Arbiters, maybe some very new exceptional Arbiters in the future, which I don't know how much I can say about that, but there may be
no. Yeah, I'm happy. So looking to do Warframe based arbiters. We've got a name. The name is War Council.
Ooh.
And what I'm having to do is get like loads of stock footage, put it on a USB stick, and post it to a friend because I can't fucking, So that's going to be a thing. I can't upload it myself, and yeah, that's about it. So it's going to be World of Warcraft related. Anyone that I'm looking for content creators that are like specifically they do have a passion for World of Warcraft. We're going to make it easy barrier to entry. But yeah, so it's like I'm not stopping the Warframe one, but this is like in addition to. I'm trying to think of like other ones that I can do. Destiny was raised, but I don't have that passion for Destiny. Like, and also the plot is just a mess. So,
I'm really curious to see.
Yeah,
it's gotta be It's gonna be really cool. I can't wait, and I love how you're switching to other games, and I also love how like the Royal Mail will be an integral part
Oh my
of
god.
of the upload of your YouTube video.
Well, like, so snail mail edition.
Yeah.
No, so what I'm doing is I'm getting all the characters together, like all the footage and everything, because people will have custom characters and stuff. So I'm getting all the footage together beforehand and pre-recording it. So much like how the Arbiters currently uses like shit tons of stock footage, it's going to be the exact same like process, but everyone's going to have their own unique character. I've had to sit down and properly plan out how like all the camera angles work and everything. But I need to get that stock footage to lovely editors or editor at the moment, and yeah, it's like it's a fucking lot of work. I have to spend this weekend getting. I think I worked it out to be. It's 100 camera angles, 100 clips for me, and it's 10 clips per guest.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
To be done. But anyway, let's.
So if you want to see that amazing work, go to youtube.com/xeno and because it's a meme on this channel right now, if you want to support Dad even more, go to patreon.com/xeno as well. If you want to see this FrameCast, will be live tomorrow, or if you're listening to it right now, I mean it's live right now, on youtube.com/postmalongames. There's going to be also more videos tomorrow out. Now Cyberpunk was released today, so yay, getting back into that. And I hope you are getting back into 2021 as well. I hope you have some like really cool New Year's resolutions and shit. If you have some things which you're looking forward to this year, let them know down below in the comment section, or I mean the live chat. Like we're kind of ending now, but leave them in the comment section, because like what are you looking forward to? What are some really cool games you're looking forward to this week? Actually, this is something which I want to talk about next week, so like get your answers ready for next week. But like this week I learned from Retro that Minecraft is coming with an update, which is like pretty damn cool, and I'm like actually excited to play it. And I generally don't know what games are coming out this year where I'm going to be super excited for. The last year was going to be Cyberpunk, which took a really long time, but what else is coming out this year which we're like ready to go for?
Cyberpunk Complete Edition.
Yeah. But like let me know. Let me know in the comments. We'll talk about that next week. See you all later.
Yeah.
Have a great time. Same bad time, same bad channel, and yeah, bye-bye.